Welcome back to the Huddle. The team lists have been released, so let's have a look at the team for round 1. The goal for this year is to finish in the top 1000 and maybe even beat a personal best of 923rd. Looking at the starting 17, you can't go past Cam Smith in the hooker position. He goal kicks, makes heaps of tackles, and averaged 14.5 more points than any other hooker last year. In the front row, we have Sam Burgess and Matt Lodge. Now, Sam Burgess did have a bit of a lower scoring year last year, but he was still averaging 65 points. Let's hope he can find some of those attacking stats from 2014 and 2016, and hopefully average in the 70s again this year. Matt Lodge has performed really well in the trials, and at his price just over 200k and named to start in the front row there at the Broncos, he should not only be able to make a bit of cash, but hopefully score 50 plus points. In the second row, we have Paul Gallen, Jake Trbojevic, and Bryce Cartwright. Paul Gallen is super consistent and he averaged 76 points last year. He is definitely a go-to captain choice as he has amazing base stats. He averaged 60 points from base stats last year. Similar to Gallen, Gerbo is super consistent. He averaged a solid 73 points last year. He averaged 57 points in base stats last year, but what's nice is he averaged 9 points per game from creating and scoring tries. Bryce Cartwright had an absolute shocker of a year last year. On and off the field, there was drama going on. He only averaged 29 points last year. This was a huge contrast to his 2016 average of 74 points. It'll be nice to see him at least make a lot of money, but it would be awesome if he could regain his gun status. In the halfback position, Jonathan Thurston, who suffered an injury last year, comes in at a nice discount of around 530k. He only played 7 games last year where he averaged 67 points. He looked a little bit rusty in the first trial game, but he did still show signs of excellence. We know what he's done in the past. He's averaged over 70 points from 2013 to 2016, so at his price, he's locked in to start in the Huddle. Coming in at 5'8" is Cody Walker. He averaged 60 points last year, but that was a combination of him playing in the halves and at fullback. He didn't go quite well at fullback, so it's good to see him back in the halves where he turned up a couple of times over the first 6 rounds last year. If he gets off to a cracking start this year like he did last year, he seems to be a little bit underpriced and should hopefully make some money, but let's hope that he is just a genuine gun. In the centre wing, we have Jordan Rapana, Latrell Mitchell, Peter Hiku, and Sione Katoa. Rapana is extremely expensive, but with his first 3 games, he is a captain potential in all of those games. It might be a bit risky, but he showed last year he got the 3rd all-time highest Supercoach score. He put 170 points on the Titans. It may be a bit of a roller coaster ride, and sometimes he may not see much ball, but if that happens, he usually goes and gets it from dummy half and makes heaps of tackle busts. There's a lot of hype around Latrell Mitchell this year that it could be his breakout year, especially with the new recruits of Cronk and Tedesco in the team. He has a really high ownership of 30%, as lots of people are hoping that he can go from an average of 54 last year to maybe in the 60s, or who knows, he may even crack the 70s. Peter Hiku only played 9 games last year to average 31 points. The 4 years before that, he averaged over 45 points, so essentially he's coming in at a discount and should hopefully make a bit of coin. He does have Sean Johnson and Tohu Harris on his side of the field, so let's hope he sees a lot of quality ball and gets plenty of attacking stats. And the rookie from the Sharks, Katoa, he looks dangerous when he gets the ball. He seems strong with a good tackle bust. Let's hope he'll get a bit of ball there with Dugan on his left and get those attacking stats and make us lots of cash. And in the fullback position is James Tedesco. He's moved to a new club. He should see plenty of attacking stats. He still managed to average 68 points last year despite only scoring 5 tries. And on the bench, we have Damien Cook in the hooker position, Leilani Latu from the front row, Richie Kenner in the centre wing, and Tommy Turbo at fullback. I have tossed up whether to go with Havili from the Raiders at basement price, but I have seen Cook in action in the trials. He showed his potential, and with Farah not named in the starting 17, he seems to be the sole hooker, and there should be plenty of upside for Damien Cook there at the Rabbitohs. Leilani Latu is at the cheaper end of the price scale there at around 270k, and being the starting prop there at the Titans, he should hopefully get enough minutes to make a lot of cash. And Richie Kenner there is named to start on the wing for the Rabbitohs. Let's hope he's secured that spot. He's not quite basement price, but he should have enough potential there to get some attacking stats. And finally, the man needs no introduction, Tommy Turbo, the most expensive Supercoach player. With a good fixture, you could feel confident about putting the captain armband on him. Let's hope he stays free from injury and has another amazing year. Looking at the non-playing reserves there, Liggy Sau from the Warriors has scored the lock position. Hopefully he'll be able to make us a bit of cash before Mannering returns. Nichols starts there at prop for the Rabbitohs, and Cacao is starting on the edge for the Panthers. Leilua has been dropped to the bench there, but hopefully he'll still see a few minutes and he may just be a bit of a slow burner. Lockie Croker's at basement price and is a starting half at the Eagles. He's locked in as a cheapie halfback. Connor Watson is a bit awkwardly priced there. He is named to start, but Brock Lamb is on the bench, so I'm a little bit uneasy about Connor Watson now. But at the moment, he's in there. Let me know in the comments whether you think Connor Watson should take the place of Richie Kenner in the starting 17. Isako from the Broncos has got that wing spot. The Broncos are a solid team, so hopefully he bags a few tries here and there. Now, I don't like having a player who's not named to start, but Zach Lomax has shown some potential in the trial games, and I would have to fork out around 100k to get a player in there like Winterstein, who's around about the next cheapest player who's actually playing. There is a lack of those centre wing cheapies, but let me know in the comments below whether it's worth upgrading to a Winterstein or just leave Lomax in there and hopefully he's a Ponga type player from last year and make some cash later in the season. So that's the squad. Let me know if you think my second row needs another solid player. I'm a bit uneasy about Cardi being the third choice second rower there. I did like the idea of TKO or Takiaho as the goal kicker for the Roosters there, or maybe a Merrin or Tohu Harris. Let me know what you think. I do like the thought of having Turbo, Teddy and Rapana. They can just go huge and I want to get off to a good start this year. But be sure to comment below what you think of the team and let me know about your team ideas as well. The vice captain for this week is going to be Paul Gallen, but I'm putting the captain armband on James Tedesco. He's coming up against his old club, the Tigers, and there seems to be a few issues there at the Tigers with Nofaluma being dropped, so hopefully he'll be able to link up with his new teammates and maybe even bag a sneaky hat trick. And finally, one thing that's caught me out before is viewing your 17 as a whole and not separating the 13 on the field and then the separate 4 on the bench. Here, Cam Smith and Damien Cook are my hook positions, but Cook is actually playing before Smith, so I'm going to move Cook onto the starting 13 onto the field and move Smith to the bench. It might seem weird to play Cook in front of Smith, but we're not really playing them in front, we're just viewing our 17 as a whole. Because imagine if I kept Smith there on the field, Damien Cook plays before the Storm, so he locks in his score, then an hour before the game, Smith is dropped off the team list, he injures himself in the warm-up. You cannot then move Smith, and you're going to cop an auto emergency, which at this point of the season could be someone like Leilua who's coming off the bench for the Dragons there. So be sure to arrange your team with the players playing first in the round, put them in your starting 13 on the field, then put their players on the bench who are playing after those starting 13. So again, be sure to let me know what you think of the team and feel free to share your team ideas. It's always great to hear a different perspective. I'll be keeping an eye on the late mail, and if I make any changes to the team, I'll post them in the comment section below. Be sure to share and subscribe and join the huddle. Let's go!